Good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you are, and welcome to Chronicles, the City of Martyrs. And we begin our scene at a old and familiar spot. A certain road, quite privileged, quite enriched area, uh, known to have its many sort of shops, specialist shops that deal the occult, supernatural, culture, very foreign and perhaps now dead um, realms or cities or countries. And but this row of shops has seen hard times. It's changed vastly since the kindred have left or taken away from London. The area is more degraded. The shops have closed. The windows have been boarded up. The area seems to have had rough times. And the one quite infamous shop, one of the greatest known shops to find any kind of rare equity or rare cult items, is now nothing but boarded up, shut down, and decaying. And we'll zoom into our character as they see this before them.
Yes, thank you, David. But Maria stands across the road, shall we say, watching, observing for a long time, as is her wont to do nowadays. Now and nights, perhaps. Is that a thing? It is now. The streetlight sort of flickers a tiny bit, almost adding to the sense of lost grandeur, shall we say. That once upon a time, yes, there was this building that was this bastion of occult knowledge, not only for her kind, but also for mortals perhaps that wish to dabble. They never really got told what they needed to know. But when the door opened and business was open, who were they to say no? And by they, she means the people of the industry that would work in their ghouls and whatnot. She remembers that creepy ghoul. That creepy motherfucker with the stupid glasses. Lost in memory for a moment, she shakes it off like dew and then crosses the street, examining for a moment the doors, the windows that are at street level, and when finding those boarded up, she'll have a look at cellar windows, coal cellars, because it is a Victorian building. There would be something there, even if it's just small windows to look down into the old coal cellar. Describe what I see.
As you examine the shop, the headboard, the tile, Treadwells, the letters have kind of fallen off. Again, decay, no maintenance. It's as if this shop place looks like it's been closed for at least 5, maybe more years. And a lot of the other shops around you, of course, have closed as well. It seems that these places are all shut down. And as you examine the doors, the windows, the cellars, it's been boarded up very well, very sort of protective way. You see like steel shutters along the windows, steel shutters on the front window. The door itself is quite like has like bars, and seems to have been the front of the door. Actually, it seems as if that's been welded in at the front entrance. You can't get in the front entrance anymore. If you do look around the side, yes, there is like an old cellar sort of entrance or sort of cellar door, but that also has been steel sort of shut, even welded, sort of shut. But as you go around, your senses, this area is quite dead. There's not much life around, not many people around. But your kindred senses do pick up something. It's 30 yards. Yeah, you can detect some life inside the building, some activity, the smell, the sounds of like heartbeats. And they seem to be coming from upstairs. As you look up towards like the street light that's beaming down on you, there's definitely a sense that there's some food upstairs, as it were. The only entrance that you can see that seems accessible is the back entrance. And this is kind of a long alleyway that leads down the backside of all the sort of shops. And you see a sort of back entrance door. But again, that seems locked, chained, bolted. A heavy reinforced kind of steel door that seems to guard it.
Locked, chained, and bolted isn't welded, which means that the food that is inside still goes out for its own food. And this is the escape route the rat takes. And so, once or twice trying the doors just because she's a curious creature and having us see whether the welding on the old coal cellar door is done well, she'll give the bars a rattle. If nothing else, it will encourage the person upstairs to come downstairs to see what the kerfuffle is before she knocks 3 times in the succession that she did once upon a time when she was student here. Knockety knock knock.
So you make that sort of knock 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 noise, and as you do this, you hear movement upstairs. You hear it's like multiple people, definitely multiple people, multiple heartbeats, and you do sense as if someone is coming towards the window, but ignoring you. It goes quiet.
Knock again.
Continues to ignore you.
Like Romeo, throw a stone at the window to get attention.
Okay, you throw a stone. Again, it's sort of barred and sort of shut down the windows. But at one point, one of the windows opens up, and as it does, a lot more noise comes out, a lot more sound. And you can hear the faint sort of music playing inside the apartment or place upstairs. And you see a face look down at you. You see this face look down. And he simply just looks, "Can't you see we're fucking shut, love? Fuck off."
You're always shut, Maria calls back. Certain clientele you're never shut for, though. She'll actually put the hood of her hoodie back and just look up, probably making sure that the street light catches her eyes.
This you've never seen before. You don't recognise him whatsoever. Just thinking, he looks to you as you say that, and he just goes, "Look, love, you better just scrap. We've got business here. If you're around when we get outside, there's gonna be trouble."
Let me in, Dominate command.
Interest? Oh, I mean, it's quite a distance. Because he's at least 2 floors up, so it's as if he can see your eyes. But then you can't. No, it's about him seeing your eyes. It doesn't matter about you seeing his eyes. It's all about him seeing. So I'll just apply -1, just simply because it's quite a distance. Trying to do this.
Alrighty, let me just roll that.
So this would be against his. It's just against his resolve. So we'll see what happens.
Let's try and repeat.
I think it's resolve. Yeah, I'm sure it's just resolve.
Why is there a 20 in that roll? That's not right. Hang on.
Which one did you? I'll roll 3 dice.
This dice roller is great when you actually know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's hashtag repeat. And then space, the number, then another space, and then the type of dice. Yeah, so repeat the number of dice, and then space, the type of dice.
So that's 2 successes to beat there.
Okay, I don't think I've got you on mine. Hold on, maybe I'll go into the chat one. Oh, right, yeah, you're on a different one. Okay. 2 successes?
Yep.
Okay, so just please. He's got 2 successes as well.
And he's the defender, the Lord.
He's the defender. It's the distance. Yeah, actually, exact same dice. Yeah, exact same number. It's the distance. He kind of, as if he does kind of, he is slightly getting mesmerized by you. You feel it. You're pulling him in. conquering his mind. But it's just that bit too far. It works so much better when you've got direct, like face-to-face sort of contact. And it kind of shakes his head as if he's being pulled out of the window, and it just goes, what? Yeah. Look, just get the fuck out of here, love. And then at that point, he just shuts the window down.
You're not understanding me. I'm getting into this establishment somehow. And if I have to wait for this motherfucker to come outside for freaking groceries, I will do so.
Just to do because you may notice this. So if you could do a wits, it would either be streetwise, wits streetwise, or an occult, but definitely a -2 the occult, because I think streetwise would be more relevant. But no, I think you've got a fair bit of occult, so yeah, wits streetwise or wits
when you
occult.
say fair bits.
Yeah, there's just little things you may notice.
One success there.
Okay, one success. While you was examining the show, I was examining the windows, the doors, and just after this guy closes the window, you walk around again, just have that quick examine of the bars, but you sort of you're a bit kind of frustrated. You kick the floor and it makes that loud noise, and you realise you're standing on the sewer. Great, just underneath where the street light is. And as you look to the sewer gate, it has all the usual London markings of type and number of the sewer gate, where it's Thames Water, such and such. You notice a tiny, tiny little mark. And it is a mark of the dragon, the Ordo dragon. A simple symbol, just something that not many would recognise, but some basic initiates may.
So I'm going in the sewer.
That's one of the options.
Haven't got time for anything else. Going in the sewer.
Okay. You enter you open the grate, you walk down, it stinks. It's a sewer. Rats go past you. There's a nice splash of water as you kind of get down to the bottom level. But you do notice like a tunnel around you. And of course your kindred senses kick in. It's very, very dark, but senses kick in, so you get the -2 while here. It's pitch black. But you do notice the similar sort of thing. But this is a lot more complex. I think I'll give you an automag because you're auto draco. You know the sort of secret little codes, the secret sort of wordings, and it basically is like an auto draco, like a message board, or what they'd use to mark territorial directions or warnings. And this one basically says like entry this way, warning, trap, caution.
Of course. But as I said, I haven't got time to piss fart around, so I'll just go into the mouth of the lion's den.
Okay. Are you cautious about it, or are you just simply going to plod it on the list?
I am utilizing all of my acute kindred senses and or spider sense.
Right. That again, this is deliberately done this way because as you activate your acute senses, especially, it's overwhelming. The sewer. It's so overwhelming your senses that actually it causes them. It debilitates you. It actually makes your senses even worse. Your eyes sort of water, your nose kind of waters because it's just the horrid stench of the sewer. It does overwhelm you, and you do think to yourself, "That clever Bussy knew that this is a great way to place a secret trap." It's been very hard to detect down here.
In which case, how high is the sewer level at the moment? Like knees, thighs, ankles?
You just have to go duck your head to be able to go through this tunnel. And as you see before you, you see what looks like a sort of heavy metal door that seems to have some kind of nation key or something.
Mm-hmm. The guy was fond of electricity. I'm wondering if it's rigged up to something. Looking for wires.
Okay, we'll just do a simple roll here to determine what you see.
I'm pretty much doing what would be the equivalent of a detect traps roll.
This is literally a detect traps roll. So I think admittedly, I'm not into, it's either larceny or craft. Again, it depends how you word, but larceny, that's kind of breaking into things.
Intelligence and craft?
I think craft.
Yeah.
Or investigate. Oh, there's so many options. I don't know. I think
What
basically, in either case, I think simply due to the trap and due to the fact that you're still using your kindred senses, so you only get -2. So we'll simply say intelligence, investigate or craft, wherever's your advice, but -2,
and it was
the darkness,
yep.
And then minus an additional 1. No, he's crafted. An additional 2 because it's a well hidden trap. So it'd be -4 actually. It
right. Okay. Cool. Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, you look. You're trying to find those.
That's right.
Yeah, is that right? Or...
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's just because it is very dark. It's a very well made trap. It's you look for those common signs, and you know the person that set this trap up. You know they.
What does it do?
And you sort of look around, you examine, but as you do, suddenly, of course, like a loose rock, hand up on a foot panel that you just accidentally trigger, and yes, surprise, surprise, you just hear this sort of coil like light up, and you just get zapped with like a huge amount of electricity that just pumps straight through your system. Now, to them all, this would be just instant, like death, heart attack, right? But for you, this is very heavy damage. This would cause aggravated damage to a human, but will only cause lethal damage to you as you are kindred. And you may spend blood point to activate any resilience or anything that you may have.
Yeah, fuck it, why not? Let's neg the 1 and activate resilience just for funsies.
Okay, so I'll roll.
I need to be hungry by the time I get to the 2nd floor.
Oh yes, you'll be hungry to be eaten. This trap seems designed again. After this, designed to repel humans more than kindred per se, but it can still do damage. Okay, so I just roll the trap's damage. So, a bit cross. It'll be at least 2 plus whatever this does. Nope, that's not right. I have to copy and paste this because I keep writing it. 1. Okay, so it's 3 lethal damage as this sort of zaps you. But again, your kindred body can absorb it, can take it, and you negate the 1 because of your resilience. And so it's just 2 lethal. Oh, do you have 2 resilience?
I do.
Ah, sorry, right. Yes, you negate 2 of that. So it's only 1 lethal. Coil zaps and fries you. But because your resilience, you still have those burn marks that sort of frazzled like electrocute. Your hair's sort of spiked up slightly. Your hands are slightly burned. But of course, it doesn't.
Better in the morning.
Yeah, visually it does affect you, but it still appears that you've just been electrocuted. And I don't know what thoughts you have on that. It's just literally one. It's only 1 lethal.
Probably disappointed in myself for running into it, but again, I don't have the time to piss fight around. I need to get into that building. So whilst I dare say the coil is recharging whatever I'm going to try and get through.
Oh yeah,
great.
You hear the sounds of it spiraling up for like a larger charge, as if that's just the initial kind of shock. Now it's kind of winding.
You're going to make me do this, aren't you?
Yes, so you get to the door. And of course, as you get to the door, you kind of, again, it's very crouched in. and you have to. It's like the tunnel itself lights up with lightning. The whole tunnel kind of zaps where the contents is in it. But you reach the door, and it is just a simple sort of sealed door, and it does have like a combination lock, and it is all Auto-Dracal symbols, and it's like a puzzle device, like code phrases, words of the Auto-Dracal. Typical. Each Dracal has like all the member has selected codes, so it'll take a moment or two to crack it to work out. So we'll have to do another roll to see how well. So this will be your intelligence, academics, or cult, whichever. Negative.
Negative.
And it all works. For every success you get, you minus something.
For every success, I neg something.
Oh, sorry, you negate the amount of damage, or when the Tesla core winds up again. Basically, there's a set number over my head. For every success, it will minus further damage you get, because it's just going to keep zapping you to try and work out.
How heavy is this door?
It's a sealed door. At least, durability 3. It's a heavy sealed door. Durability, yes, yeah. Structure.
I'm grumpy enough that I'm gonna kick it in.
You're gonna try and kick it in. So basically, it has armor points just for the rules for structures and stuff. It has armor points of at least 4, and then a structure point of 5. That's its health, 5 damage.
That's okay, because I'm so fucked off that I'm just gonna frenzy at it and destroy it.
Okay, right. So I'm assuming you're gonna. So how are you gonna go about?
I'm gonna do that.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
spend a willpower point, and I'm going to destroy that door.
Yeah. Okay. So you spend the willpower point. I'm assuming the door is the object in question that you want. Yeah. This is interesting.
Correct.
That you want to destroy. So yes, this will be your strength and plus brawl, and you may spend whatever blood points. You have 3 blood points.
I'm actually just interested to roll this just to see what will happen.
Okay, right, yeah. So I think you've worked it all out, haven't you? It's your.
I have. Allow me.
Your. Yeah. I'll let you.
That's 4 successes there. Oh, hang on. Warning, 10 is the maximum. Okay, I need to roll another 6 dice. 1 moment.
Repeat. Oh, I see. Yeah, you need to roll another 6 dice. Holy crap.
So that then is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 successes.
That is a lot of dice, I must admit, even I'm looking at that thinking. So I just need to work out when. Yeah, if you could just send that to me, because that's just, I don't know if you want to say it or speak it out loud or something. That's a lot of dice there, I must admit. So I'm assuming it's your strength.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah, it must be your strength plus your brawl plus your blood potency. Yes. And I know you double your blood potency.
Frenzy rolls add blood potency to stats.
Yep.
And Ride the Wave merit 3, I believe 3 or 2, doubles strength when attacking an object. We've discussed this.
Oh, you double the strength when attacking an object. Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine then. Yeah, that makes sense. Doubling the strength. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot nicer. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, you've just scored. This door is like a heavy reinforced door, and in one hit, you managed to just punch like a hole straight through. It's still got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got 2 points of health left. Just the 2 points of health left. But you've just done one solid punch, and it's nearly crippled the door in like one blow.
It's time for the doors move, because my next move is to use my intelligence, because I will have just gone in straight beside the lock to go around the lock with my hand, pull the device out and unlock it.
You're still frenzying, and the frenzy object of your frenzy is to destroy this door.
That's fine, but let the door have its go, and then I'll have my next go.
All right, you'll get No, actually, it'll take at least 2 turns. Yeah, you have another turn before you get zapped, because this is like you're doing this in very quick action. You're not trying to work out a combination. You're just punching the door. So another turn, and if that doesn't work, then you'll get zapped again. So you may roll again. I think you'll do it. Basically, this is a very, very high dice.
I failed better rolls.
You do? Yes, you have. Wow, I should probably just give you this more back. Yeah, you've talked through
So
that.
one explodes, 1, 2, 3, and one explodes. So I'll roll another 7 dice.
Yeah, you've just the
Another one
second.
explodes.
Just drive away. Just that door's gone.
Yeah, fuck that door.
Yeah. So you.
I'm all right. I have this beautifully in my head. First, imagine the whirring coils of a Tesla coil winding up for another charge. There's almost like static going up the back of Maria's hair because she's been zapped and she doesn't like it. She didn't like it back in the day and she doesn't bloody well like it now. And in a way, it almost triggers a traumatic memory. Wouldn't that be delightful? And that traumatic memory just takes her straight to frenzy, leaving her to pretty much just snarl and leap, a flying leap with her leading arm, punching straight into the door, straight through it, realizes it doesn't do it, brings the other arm up, punches through the door, ends up grabbing the door with 2 hands like this and actually pulling it off its hinges, turning around and throwing it back towards the sewer, screaming, "Fuck you, Graves," and then dusting off and proceeding. That work for you?
Yeah, loads of dust and the brick kind of scatters around you. Even the ceiling sort of collapses in slightly, not enough to do. The sheer force of you've just ripped this.
That whole cool guys don't look at explosions. Like as the ceiling collapses in front of her, behind her, she doesn't even care, just walks past. It's like, fuck you.
There's mortar, brick, debris kind of just falls on you. I'm assuming you was quite well groomed or maintained earlier, but now you just look like you've been zapped. You've got dust all over you. You've just come from the sewer.
Honestly, as far as her grooming goes, it used to be a big deal when she was young, in her younger years. Nowadays, it's just whatever's lying around so that she's not naked, because apparently naked isn't acceptable socially, also brother says.
So, yeah, damn, my awkward roommate. Yeah, you just walk through and yes, you've just lifted and ripped this very heavy reinforced door as if it was just a paperweight. So it's nothing thrown that anyway. And you kind of you leave your frenzy. That beast goes. You command it. It's achieved its task, and now it's gone. And you're kind of left.
In a way, that actually felt really good.
It probably did. Actually, I did have an image. Oh, I completely forgot. I did have an image of what the door would look like. It'd be something like that. You just ripped like a very heavy.
If this was a TV series, walking past the mortar and brick and rubbish sort of, flaring up like the morning mist, there'd just be Nina Simone's Feeling Good playing softly in the background.
Yeah, you've just that kind of overwhelms you. That sense of yes, the satisfaction of just destroying something.
And realistically, this is about the first time she's actually flexed her beast since going into torpor. Fuck, it feels good.
Yeah,
it's so wrong, but it's good.
Beast, of course.
We continue.
The beast purrs away as you've caused this destruction. It loves it. It always has. You have to be cautious of that. You always will be. But yes, you're now in like what appears to be like the sort of cellar, kind of bottom area of the Treadwells, and you walk down you're in a back room filled with just but the back room it's like flooded. It's actually somewhat flooded with a bit of sewer water or rainwater. It seems to be much. As you see before you, this seems to be like the private collection or the private area for the sort of more specialist books or specialist items. But of course, it's bare now, empty. The shelves are empty. The bookcases are empty. The cabinets are all empty. There's just a few basic mouldering books still left scattered around. Water on the floor and dripping from the ceiling. This place is really condemned. Nothing to what it used to be or what it once was. And as you proceed, you'll see like a kind of guest room, a main entry room, the room where Graves always entertain the guests. And this has similar circumstances. It's decayed, decrepit, the furniture is rotten, collapsed, not in it as it once was in its former glory days.
A pang, perhaps, of nostalgia, of sadness, of glories of times gone by, and knowing perhaps in her heart of hearts that the glory she saw was not even the golden age of the order. Has it been? Is it yet to come? Who can tell? But what this is now, this stagnating pond, this sewer-drenched apothecary, in a way, it's almost disgraceful. And her beast in the back of her throat growls a tiny bit. Not really happy, but by the same token, it's still standing. So perhaps we simply take what we can get in these dire times. Have a quick scan. Is there anything of use? I'm going to suggest not, because it would have been taken.
Anything of worth or value seems to be gone, sold, misplaced, or some. But there are still some rare books or some wonderful items, but they've rotten, not been looked after, decayed, and turned to nothing but mulch, dust. And you proceed further forward again. If you do go upstairs, it's the exact same sort of condition. The shop itself is just rotten, moldy. All the books are decayed. The cabinets are kind of decayed. Part of the ceiling above you is kind of collapsed in of itself again, where you see water, some sort of water damage, caused the part of the shop ceiling to collapse in. And as you look around this place, hold on, I do have some more. Yeah, empty the water damage, moss growing on the walls. There is still signs of as if people have lived here. You see some graffiti on the walls. You see like a sleeping bag, some cooking appliances, empty cans of food seem to be scattered around the place. And you hear upstairs the sound of at least 4 individuals, 4 heartbeats, 4 potential victims of the beast kind of called out to. And they seem to be chatting away and laughing, joking.
They don't bother me. Not yet. I'm here on a mission. I'm here to find out what is left. So I shall proceed to Graves' study.
That is upstairs. That's where they are. These voices, these sounds coming from.
The sacrilegious heathens. Guess who's getting a spanking?
So you proceed up the sort of spiral staircase, metal staircase that leads upstairs to Graves's office, and sort of it's like an apartment. It's his private little apartment area. It's built into the shop. And as you look, you see again this once memories flood back of what his office was like once, with prestigious artifacts, portraits, piano, music, items of a past or culture note that no longer exists. A sort of gentlemanly charm about the place is just again decayed, rotten, nothing to what it used to be. And what you see before you are like 4 individuals. They seem to have like a trash can or something on fire to gather enough heat to keep themselves warm. And there is a hole in the ceiling, from where the part of the ceiling has collapsed in and collapsed on the floor itself. And before you see 3 individuals, and they do, they come across as that scummy drug addict, thieving sort of ruffians that you saw. And again, one of them, who seems to be the leader, was looking out the window at you. But amongst them, you see one individual who you know. You've seen him before. And that is Graves's former ghoul. You know him by the name of Nigel. But he looks far worse. He looks a lot older, more worn, very lanky, very skinny. He has a few tattoos on him. And he looks like he's had very rough times, very rough times. He seems to just be laying kind of semi-unconscious, and let's just simply say with a needle in his arm, as it seems he's just tried to bliss himself away from all the horror around you.
Wow. Doesn't she know quite acutely the solace one seeks when what one wants is unavailable? So she doesn't begrudge poor old Nigel. However, I'm sure that there's a confrontation coming with the three that aren't half passed out. But my first move will be to find a sharp door edge or something, edge against it, and just cause myself to bleed somewhere, somehow, so that Nigel can get that sweet scented vitae. Maybe it'll rouse him from his drunken stupor.
Yes, actually, that would. But you're not that far away, and these people are somewhat distracted by it. They seem to be laughing or joking. Um, but yes, you kind of
So
you just graze or cut yourself, and night you
yeah,
can see him. You
that
could
scene
see.
in Queen of the Damned, just in the window, whatever. Not
Yeah,
much.
yeah. You see him. You see him get up. You see him sort of stumble slightly, as you can see his nostrils flaring, going, "Oh no!" Like mumbling to himself, like, "I know that. I know that's my way." And he kind of crawls on the floor. His hand accidentally nearly goes into the big hole in the floor. That's the ceiling of the shop, and he sort of starts to crawl towards you. And the other lot are laughing at him, like, "Where are you going,
I'll
Nigel?
back
Silly
away into
son."
the shadows. If I can get away with him for a moment or two, I'll do that.
You can. They're going to follow. They'll follow him. They're not going to just let him wander off like in the state he's in. You can back away in the shadows so they can't see you again. There's no lights here, uh, so you can do roll to see if you want to. Actually, no, I'll make that normal. It's so dark and they can barely see anything. You kind of hide into a shadow, or go into a corner of the shop. Sorry, the kind of office. That's somewhat hidden. But Nigel just slowly kind of walking, like crawling towards you. But the other lot will just pick him up. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, Nigel? Get back. You'll bloody fall through the ceiling.
Oh dear God, am I going to be naughty?
Yeah, they're quite nice drug addicts. They seem to be looking after their friend while he's in a complete state.
Oh, that's sort of the game changer right now. No, I don't think the plan will change much. Is there somebody's eye that I can catch?
The main individual seems to be the biggest charge. Loads of scars, and well, you can assume a diseases on his face, and he seems to be hovering around the fire, and he seems to be the one that's looking after Nigel. He's the one that's sort of the other two
Is there
don't seem.
anything weird that I'm sensing about him? Has he got a normal
No, no,
heartbeat?
no, no. Just normal heartbeat, normal senses. Nothing comes across supernatural, strange.
Oh, for God's sakes. Nobody's leaving here alive or unghouled anyway. Let's be honest with ourselves. Step into the light. Knockety knock knock. I'll give the same knock actually of before.
Oh right, okay, yeah. They instantly just turn around. They see you, and they just and the two other individuals are like, "Who the hell's that? Whoa, what is that?" And then the main figure who recognizes you from earlier just goes, "Oh, what the fuck, love? How do you get in?"
Same I always did.
Hey, look. I don't want to go beating down on a girl, but this is our place, all right? If you want to find your own hovel, all right, fuck off.
Just ignore him. Just look at Nigel. And just go, long time, old friend.
Nigel looks to you again. He's somewhat still spaced out. He's just sort of murmuring to you, just sort of going, "Oh, no, I've, oh, it's been so long. I've waited."
The finger in hand and whatever that I cut, I'll just sort of hold out to him.
Oh, he just instantly tries to go up to grab or to grab at your hand if it's bleeding or if there's vitae at the end. Start sort of again instantly just doesn't even question it, doesn't even try to deny it or stop himself. As he will just go over and try and suck whatever vitae you offer to him.
I'll be a real cunt about it too and just leave enough of a drop just so that it doesn't quite drop
Yeah.
on my hands. And just be like, come on, little boy. Come on, darling.
As
I
you're
imagine
doing as you're doing this, the other lot are kind of freaking out, going, "What the hell are you doing tonight, Nigel? You come back!" And they kind of look. I don't know what you're doing here, lady, but you better get the fuck out, or we're gonna get violent.
I'm not even paying attention to them, just looking at my little druggo.
Yeah,
Nigel, they want to stop you from coming towards me. They want to stop you from having what you really want. Doesn't that make you angry, Nigel?
Nigel's
Just
just
try
like
to
he's just on his
manipulate the
knees.
motherfucker.
Yeah, he's just on his knees. He do whatever you want,
Mhm.
and it's just like, please, just give me more, give me more, please.
Let's try it for the second time tonight. On a weakened mind. I think you should kill them, Nigel. For me.
So you're going to dominate him?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just an auto because um,
I'm dangling the carrot.
yeah, you're dangling a carrot plus all the dice rolls plus his resolve is really weakened because he's the addicted merit. So yeah, sorry, addicted condition. So I could say it's no mag. He just looks to your eyes, and then as soon as you say that, like kill them, he just sort of goes off. Of course, and it's as if he straightens up, as if suddenly he's gone from his low down position and starts walking up to these individuals. And they look to him going like, wait, what the fuck's going on, Nigel? Who is this person? Look. And then as he's kind of talking, Nigel goes up to the lead figure. And it seems that he's got some sort of a piece of glass or something in his hand or his pocket that he's just picked up. Or goes straight up to this person. He goes, I've known you for years, mate. What are you doing? And then suddenly just jams it into his throat. And blood just starts spilling and pouring out of this lead figure's throat. And he's taken totally by surprise as all this blood starts pouring out. And the individual kind of goes to his knees and is trying to stay the flow of blood, but doesn't. And the other two figures one of them will be terrified and shocked. Actually, we'll say it's a woman. Yeah, she sort of screams and just sort of freaks out, going, "What the hell did you do? What are you doing, Nigel?" The other guy's like, "Oh, he's having a bad trip or something," and then just starts to. The guy will try to stop him. The guy will try to hold him back. And Nigel is in a bit of a weakened condition. He's not that strong to resist. But then even he'll get a lucky stab in. You see these two individuals struggle. And actually Nigel will push him through the ceiling, the hole in the ceiling, as the guy falls and then lands on his back and he kind of lands on a broken beam or wooden beam or something. And his like leg gets pierced and you hear a cry of like, oh, you know, as a scream. And Nigel, these cold like looks in his eyes, he just simply has no control anymore. It's like a zombie just performing this action. And Nigel just slowly goes up to the woman who's screaming, like, stop, please don't. And he just slowly goes up to her and just starts stabbing her.
Before he starts stabbing her, I'll just call him back. Nigel, to heal.
And at that point, he's just about to stab her, but then he kind of just sort of goes limp and just kneels down. He simply just goes on his knees and is still in this sort of zombified state. And the woman before you is just freaking out, and she's just like, and then just just simply runs past you or runs away from the whole scene.
I'm gonna
Actually,
try and
no,
grab her.
no, she's an addict. So actually, she'll grab like before she leaves, she'll grab whatever's in the lead figure's pockets. She grabs like powder, like some substances, whatever, money, materials. She's freaking out, but she's still an addict.
That's
And she'll try
fine.
and run away afterwards.
If she tries to run past me, I'll grab her or try to dominate her. I'm trying to get two for the price of one. Nigel's nice, he knows what he's doing, but I could use some eyes on the street, so she's useful right now.
Okay. So I think it's an auto. I think similar stage. She's an addict. She has very weak resolve.
In which case, just command her to stop and listen, which would be even just the first level dominate. It's not even a.
Yeah. She just stops. And it's not about you seeing her. It's all about her seeing your eyes. So she'll glance at your eyes, and again that fire sparkles those eyes and makes them brighter and more sort of eminent, more prominent. And she just stops and then just sort of drops all the drugs or bags that she was carrying and just simply stands there again in this kind of zombified state.
But Nigel's been good, so he can suck on these fingers while I'm talking to her, because he needs to be better. And I've got a blood bag down the bottom. I'm sorry for the pun. Just sticking around.
And you haven't done a thing. You simply just commanded him. Yeah, he just begins to just spraying.
Yeah, yeah, whatever.
You do, if you want, you can give him Vitae. If you do want to make him a ghoul, you have to spend a willpower point.
Willpower and yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, yeah. So again, it's that dominance. Your beast is just pushing itself out onto him. You're making him a part of you. You're making him
Perfect.
And the blood just drains down his lips, and he's just trying to drain as much from you as he can. See how much you want to give him.
Because I like to make things exceptionally perverse when I can, I'll even like do the whole circle his lips with my finger of blood, going, now, darling, don't waste any. And then just shove my hand down his throat. Whatever. He's doing his thing. He's happy. He's feeding from mummy. Let's deal with this girl.
Okay.
While this is going on, because it's not creepy enough what just happened, there's a dude drinking this pale ass chick's fingers at the moment. Just not even walk up to her, but just look at her after doing the whole stay there, listen, and say, what is your name?
Actually, funny, I've got a good image actually. Okay. Yeah, she looks to you, and she has that kind of, again, she's somewhat good looking, but she has that kind of hooker feel about her, that prostitute feel about her, the way she's dressed.
That's what I want.
And she is good looking, but she's very worn down, very lanky, skinny, definitely. Even a few teeth, like a rotten tooth here and there, definitely has had a bit of a harsh life. And she just sort of looks to you going, Sandra.
Sandra, you don't need any of that, do you? Pointing at the needles and the powder and all that sort of stuff. Do you?
Again, she's still mesmerized in that mesmerized condition, so she just answers that question. Yes, it's the only way to get through the day.
As Nigel's over here feeding it, get off now. You've had your fill, off into a corner. Get everything. It's even getting to the point, it's like, I would play with this person back in the day, but there's just no point. It's retarded. You're wasting your own time, Maria, whatever your bloody name is now. And she'll just be like, I could do a monologue. I could make this romantic or scary. Realistically, the blood. The blood is the end all, the answer, and the crux of what our existence is. So she begins to play with this Sandra by asking her name and trying to be all hoity-toity, but in the end, the blood does the talking. And Maria just loses all notion of, I really don't care. She's just like, right, whatever. Nose up, mouth open, blood in the throat. Another ghoul. Another Neg 1 willpower, I know.
Okay, wow, we're getting multiple causes. So you
We are.
you hold back the blood you're giving to Nigel, and then you have that same little open wound or that same palm where the blood's coming out, or fingertips where the blood. Again, you can will your blood out of your body. You have to just cut the skin. You can just will it into the palm of your hand. And she just looks to you confused. Again, she's mesmerized in this sort of day sleep state, but she looks to you as you offer this blood. But as soon as like one drop just touches her lips or goes near her lips, suddenly her eyes really open up as if she's just woken up, and then just continues to just, well, that's even better, and it just drains whatever you give to her. I would say you've definitely been drained of at least 2 points of blood.
That's fine.
By
Not a problem.
Nigel, and I think this individual drink another 2 points of blood.
That's fine. I've got Mr. Stick around down the bottom. He's not dead yet. I can still hear him screaming.
So yes, you drain. So she drains whatever from you, and again you initiate that will over her, that galling aspect.
I'd like to say that I make it something meaningful, but she's a fucking human who's about to be my servant. That's all I'm seeing right now. Turn to Nigel, even as she's still feeding, this is a big thing for her. I'm deflowering this poor little thing. I'm sure that she thinks that I'm a horrible monster. I really don't care. Nigel, what has happened to the place?
Nigel looks, and it's as if he's kind of snapped out of that the substance, whatever substance was in it. And again, he looks healthier. It's the colours come back to his skin, that sort of warmth to his cheeks, and his body is as if it's kind of slightly just got a bit bigger, a bit bulkier, as if something's been restored to him, that health that seems to be missing from him. And he just looks better. He just seems to radiate. And as he looks to you, he just goes, oh, my fucking head. Noah?
Maria, get it right.
Oh, Maria.
Hold on. Shut up.
He's really foggy. The place.
You've really let it go.
Well, it all went. Oh, my head. He kind of stands himself upright and kind of just sort of sits on a box or concrete slabs or bricks that they've got there just to use for seating. He goes, well, it's been 10 years. I haven't seen any of your kind or anyone for 10 fucking years. You know what?
You look like it, darling.
Well, I lasted a while. I had some supply that Graves left me, but that drained up. And do you know what bloody ghoul withdrawal is like? And he kind of looks to his skin. Again, he's aged quite a bit. He's aged like 20. The man you saw 10 years ago was sort of 20s to 30s. But now he's like 40, 50 something. He's aged really badly.
I'm pretty sure that your little China White didn't help, and she'll eyeball the sachet of drugs and cocktails and whatever. At this point, 2 blood points are drawn to ghoul this one, and she's like, get off, push her against the wall, backhand.
She's just confused and in a bit of shock for the situation. And I think she's actually just somewhat comatose because of Nigel's quite used to the vitae and the effects of the vitae. This is the first time. And the first time the cherry popped when it comes to drinking vitae is the most amazing thing in the world. And she's just sort of laying back and enjoying the feeling. Warmth. Again, her health is restoring. She's becoming more lively, more rosy cheeked. And he just looks to you and go, oh, she's just something to get money on the side. She's Henry's girlfriend. And he sort of looks around and realizes that, his friend is bleeding and is dying basically behind him. And another guy's crying out at the bottom of the floor going, what did you do?
Just not even answer, but give Nigel the look of, I'm a fuck-mothering vampire.
Because you can't, he kind of gets up to protest, but then it's been so long since he's spoken to a kindred. He realized
And
that instant, that sense of obedience kind of kicks in to stop him, and he goes, "Oh,
Maria just pretty much just looks at him. What have I done? I'm making things right.
oh,
You've neglected this place, Nigel.
oh,
You truly have. You should be ashamed of yourself. You failed your master. You failed your order. But lucky for you, I'm here to make that right. This is your new little bitch. Her name is Sandra. And when I come back, I expect this place to be neat as a pin. Sell what you need to.
of course, yes, yeah. I'll get some. I'll work something out. I'll find a way. We'll get this place up and running.
What's left?
The I kept the shop going for at least 5 years, but then the debt callers came in, and then the Vitae hit me, and I had nothing left.
Where is he? I don't need your excuses. Where is he?
He left to the college. He packed up all the relics, the items. He said something terrible was coming. He needed to protect the relics, and the last I heard from him, he was at the college. I think I tried to go there. I tried to find him, but he lied. They control it now. They won't let me in. I nearly was arrested. Well, I was arrested. I was sent to prison for a few years just for trying to get into that damn college place. Then the shop, it just collapsed without me here, and well, I've just been trying to keep it here for as long as I can. Technically, I think I own the property. It's mine. I have no way to make any money from it.
Let that be my worry now, darling.
Oh, I did have something. Yes, he left something in case. He kind of scurries through whatever bits of paper, boxes, things that are kind of left around, and he kind of goes to the desk. And again, this is a very large desk that each of has. It's kind of built into the office. This isn't a desk you can take out. But again, it was a beautiful kind of desk, but now it's just been tarnished, damaged. And he kind of is as if he clicks some buttons, as if you hear like a compartment or something. Because he left me this to give if an order member showed up or came back. He said to give him this, and he shows you a puzzle box, what appears to be a simple sort of puzzle box with like Egyptian symbols and Ordo Draco symbols applied into it.
I take the Hellraiser box. And I shall have an examine of it, and I dare say that I'll recognize some of the symbols on it, and some I won't. So what's the roll you'd like me to make?
Okay, if you I have it written down here. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, it's a medium-sized puzzle box. It is Egyptian, but has that sort of Victorian feel about it. It's that kind of age, that kind of markings. And this will be yes, an intelligence, academics or occult, but -3. And you'll still succeed in whatever case. Just the successes will give you further information.
One success.
One success. That's enough. One. Okay, so it's a simple. No. Actually, it's not that simple. It is a somewhat complex little device, and it's done in a way that yes, if you knew Egyptian hieroglyphs or Egyptian sort of language or philosophy, you'd be able to undo it and work it out easily. But of course, this is a trap. This is just for someone that is trying to work out the Egyptian sort of symbology. And you know these kind of traps are designed with ways of destroying the contents inside. if it's not open
Mm-hmm.
correctly. It disarms whatever some sort of device inside. But you follow the Auto Dracul symbols. You interpret them, find them, give predictions. And it basically is sort of a puzzle box that spells out a word. Assemble these letters to form it. Of course, the word is it's just like what would it be actually? Maria, actually, that would be the word. It sort of pops up on all of this. And as you open the box, it has inside like a little acid vial that seems to have been that will detonate. But of course, it doesn't go off because you have opened it properly, and it's got this very thin sort of scroll of paper in it. And as you look at it, it's very, very fine written, and it's again in Auto sort of Dracu coding or code language. But of course, you understand it. You really need to put close to your eyes or use your kindred or cute senses to kind of zoom in to really see the fine detail. But it seems to be a message from Graves.
Let's read the message.
Okay, so as it reads, it just simply says, to my dear, I could do it in the accent, however, to my dear student, if it is your reading, then I congratulate you. If not, whoever you are, you have proven yourself worthy of my knowledge. If you're reading this, then I have fallen, either due to the crazed blood thief or the terrible force that I have failed to convince the prince of to take action against. As all of my offspring have failed me, you are now to become my sole heir. I grant you custody of anything left in my estate and my belongings. I only ask humbly that you put aside a small amount to keep my mausoleum in good condition. Do not let them build a Starbucks over it. Again, it gives you more little details about like password, contacts, error bombs, these sort of items. The locations of finding them. But because you've succeeded, it hasn't burnt off. There's still more on the other side, and this is a bit more complicated. And actually, this is coded in the Auto Dracul way, but it's coded also in a familiar formula. This is coded in a formula that is involved in your process of storing kindred data. And it's cleverly done in a way of being coded that you can work it out, but coded in a way that it's definitely aimed to you. This is a code that only you would understand, only you would recognize it.
Clever monkey.
Yes, very clever monkey. It takes you a while to work this out. Now also write it down. So, of course, Nigel's in the background just tidying up, making sure you're comfortable doing it. He starts speaking to the individual around you. But then this additional message comes off. It says, my dear Nora, you're the only one that could have deciphered this part of my puzzle. It is good to know that you have survived the part of these nights. Oh, the night that has taken me. I can only guess at what caused my final death. But I take comfort in knowing that the Ordo will continue with you. I take comfort in this. You are the only one worthy of my legacy, and I have left you some simple items to help assist you. And again, these clues give further clues to like a hidden vault that's like hidden within the structure of the building. We'll say like in the downstairs area below, behind one of the cupboards that even the ghoul isn't aware of. Mm-hmm. And then it gives you, the idea gives you a clue to these certain items, and we'll go into that later. And then it reads on further saying, I can only leave you now with these poor words from a very simple, very old fool. There are no shortcuts when it comes to the dragon. Patience and resolve are as a part of it as blood and fire are to a kindred. Good luck. Try to be kind to the ones you slave. And those are the sort of final words he reads out. And we can continue with your reactions and continue to what items that he's left you. And we can end it there.
Reaction initially is just simply a furrowing of the brow. This is something that she never expected, nor even dreamed was in Graves' heart. This actually smells like a trap. It's just so not like him. Her human heart wants to believe it's true, wants to believe it's delightful, and there'll be butterflies and unicorns. Her kindred self is a darker soul and tells her it's a trap. This is bullshit. You know better. That said, though, fortune has always favored the brave, and so perhaps this downstairs area is to be investigated in due time. For now, we have a ghoul to groom, one to resurrect, and an occult bookshop to reinstate. Now, was there a laboratory left?
The basics are very. Well, actually, there is actually what Graves was left of Graves' kind of equipment or laboratory has been kind of converted to kind of make meth or or heroin or processed heroin.
How fortuitous.
So there are some basics that are very, very poor quality, not very good. The basics to make certain substances.
But I'll follow the lead down to this vault that apparently exists until I can find the entranceway to it. And then I suppose it's up to you. We can do this now, or we can do this in another.
Oh, might as well do it if you've got the time.
I've got the time.
You basically, yes, you proceed down the steps, and you sort of you have to kind of you push this large cupboard, cupboard aside, and behind it is like a brick wall. And of course, you do this easily. You just move effortlessly with one hand, and then you see the brick wall, and actually you just start to. It instructs you it's behind the brick wall, so again you just start to rip the bricks out quite easily. Pulled aside, and behind you see it. Then there is this safe. It appears it's built into the wall, and of course, and it's built into the wall and bricked up. And as you kind of, it gives you the combination. You open the safe. And as it opens, you see in the safe, like a few basic items. So you get one thing because you did succeed in doing this. There is a bag of what appears to be gold coins, very old, very rare gold coins, and these are equipment to cash. So not resources. It's just equipment to cash. These are quite worth at least about £1,000. Oh, equipment 3, actually, I lie. Equipment 3. At least £1,000. Those are single-use kind of resource items. And you also see instructions, like a piece of paper that's sitting on top of the coins, and it merely has instructions to Graves' mausoleum, and it kind of informs you, like, put some money towards the mausoleum, keep it in good condition, don't let it be destroyed. And it kind of gives you a clue that there's something important there. And it leaves a message just simply saying, don't let the blood thief enter this premises. It kind of states that very exclamation mark. It's not really aimed to anyone. It just simply, it's kind of aimed as if anyone finds this. Look, these are the instructions. And then, and by the way, the mausoleum is located. Oh, sorry, the mausoleum is located in Highgate Cemetery.
We've been there.
Yeah. Oh, yes, you have. Sorry, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then something that surprises you. Now, this shocks you. You see something, and it glows a bright green color. And this is a substance that Graves has told you about. You've seen Graves make This is one of his most
No
prized,
fucking
delicate
way.
substances. And this is Gray's formula, 32B. Oh no, 37B formula. Now, this is the formula Graves, has used to enhance his coils or further his coils, his miraculous formula that seems to give kindred the ability to alter their curses. And it simply has just the one vial in it. It's the one syringe vial. And it comes with some basic instructions just written like on the side as if designed by him to give it. It simply says, formula the green hidden formula wrapped in a note, used wisely and fully, will become fatal if seal is broken.
No way.
And with that,
Oh, freaking take it and almost look at it like the Holy Grail. And with that,
we will end the scene with this kindred looking upon the Holy Grail of the Ordo Draco, a prized substance, while her two new ghouls are tidying and preparing her new haven, her new lair. And while a third individual is just bleeding out poorly, just before his end,
he'll get eaten later.
I know, just before his end, he sees the shadowy bright eyes holding this green syringe. And the final image he sees is her fangs bearing down upon him. With that, we will happily end scene. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show.